good advice never come from below. How it is that always the people around you who have the least to say are always the loudest, are always first to express their opinions on whatever you're doing, whatever you're trying to create, whatever like your next endeavor is. How it is that always the people who don't do anything in their lives, that they just sit around, play video games, they go out on weekends like to the club, anything like this, and how it is that you are the crazy one because you want to do something else with your life, because you are opening the next type channel, because you're making 5 beats a day and sending the beats out, because you risk everything and post a brave picture of you on Tinder that everyone is afraid because the norm is not to show your body online. How it is, like genuinely, because if you have been online for a very long time, very long time, and you've been creating, you've probably learned this skill of ignorance to whatever like the comments are saying, to whatever, like, because have you experienced that when you're pissed off and you want to you got a bad meal in the restaurant, or like the mechanic was awful and he didn't fix your car as he should, you will probably go to the Google reviews and leave a negative review, right? But how often when you had a good service have you left the positive review? Actually, like, you went to the site, left a 5-star review and also left a comment on that? How often you do that? I don't do that. I can say, like, because we often forget to compliment each other, to express gratefulness, express nice things. I'm paying huge attention to just compliment people around me, and if they are doing something that they are scared, that they are putting themselves out of their comfort zone, I'm trying to cheer them up, genuinely. And I might be honest, I might critique them, I might say I don't like what they are doing, but I'm not gonna say to stop. I'm not gonna hate on them. I'm not gonna say that whatever they are doing is shit, because, the thing is, when you are someone who has experienced, who have experienced the troubles, the tough way of starting something out, of risking it and exposing yourself online, you understand how fragile your perception of your ego when you're starting out, when you're just starting out and you barely have even motivation to do it on the regular, when you are struggling to do it every day because you're leading your action based off your results and not the input. And honestly, if I ever don't like anything people around me are doing, people messaging me with advice for their Type beat channels, and I see their beat aren't that good, but I try to give them like a push. I try to give them at least some advice to start, because I know this is important, because you have to earn this momentum. This is not easy at the start. And the main point of this video, is to shed some light, because I've been creating for a very long time, like 7-8 years, I think, currently. So there are still days when I'm just not feeling it, like every one of you, like you probably feel too. And we all have those days when we just don't want to do it, but we have to do it anyway. Like the biggest dream you have, the biggest purpose you have, you don't give up. You never give up. You only give up. You will only lose in this race when you give up, when you actually quit. I made multiple Type beat channels before one blew up. I made over 3,000 beats. I made so many products. I made one drum kit. I made countless channels. Countless. And I'm still improving, as you can see. Does that mean that I don't have a good advice to share? No. And I'm not afraid of sharing it because there are always people who who can benefit from your knowledge by even just making beats one day, like let's say 3 beats a week or 4 beats a week, or going to the gym 3 times a week. You're already ahead of 90% of population. We live in this echo chamber, like echo chamber, like ecosystem of really like-minded people, and your algorithm, like your whatever feed on Instagram, on YouTube, on all the platforms, is feeding you this reality that everyone is doing better than you. And that's simply not true. You have to look around, like you go around, leave the house right now. Leave the house, go for a walk to the city center, and just ask people around what they are doing with their life. Or go on a 5 dates on Tinder, or 10 even, and ask the girls or boys, whatever you're into. Ask what they are doing with their lives, what they are doing for their passion, what's their biggest goal is. Because from experience, I can confidently say there are not many people who will likely answer those questions. There are many people who will have hard time even recognizing their biggest dream because they have given up on it very, very long time ago. So the actual best way to win in this race is just to never stop, like keep participating, never stop. And I'm not gonna stop ever until I'm done. I'm gonna see this video in 5 years. I'm gonna be in I dream of the car, which is a Nissan 350Z. I think I will say it. It's not the best car, but I really love it. Like, or Toyota Supra, you know. I will look at this video in 5 years where I will be in a very different place, where I will be in a very different position, where I will achieve many, many more things than I have achieved right now. And you know what's the funniest thing? All the people who kept saying don't do it, this is risky. No, you stand out too much. You are risking too much. No, like I've even heard from people, don't go bald, don't tattoo your back, don't do piercings because you're not gonna be allowed to work. Who the fuck cares, bro? Who the fuck cares? Like, stop being such a wanker and stop being such a loser. Stop listening to advice from below. The good advice never comes from below you. And if you are afraid to stand out a bit, and if you are afraid, whatever they trying to say about you, whatever they're gonna be, they're to be brutally honest, they're gonna die anyway. In a couple years, maybe not a couple years, but in a couple, in a 50 years or so, they are gonna die eventually, and their advice isn't going to matter anymore. So why should you care right now? Why should you care about other people's view of you? They have their life. You have yours. We only have one life, and you have to treat it like it's a gift from above. And I always say, and I always preach, if you have never been at the bottom, you will never appreciate the life as someone who has been at the bottom. You know why there are so many billionaires and millionaires who lost their fortune because of some unfortunate situation, maybe drug addiction, alcohol addiction, maybe some divorce, and they earned it back? Because you don't lose the skill, you don't lose the drive. And it is not about the situation, the method on how you make the money. It is about the mindset, it is about the motivation, it is about constant gratitude, it's about being delusional that you're gonna succeed. Join my community. This is the first link in the description. Hope you learned something today. Bye bye.